So compared when you were growing up, the Ireland that existed then and now, is it much better now in every way or not?
Well, you see, okay, we used to have great times. You know, we say we had no money, but like I think the community spirit that was there was much stronger. You know, now everyone has everything, and materially we had nothing. But you know,
Spiritually,
people were. I know that certainly within the community, apart from school, you had a great. You know, we'll say for example, if somebody in the community needed a helping hand, it was there. If we'll say, take for example now, the women in the community, if somebody felt down, we'll say a woman that have a maybe problem with her, not a problem, but needed a bit of a lift, we'll say, on her own life, like rather than go to see a doctor, she had the women of the village in there to support her, you know. And like that's all gone now because we were visiting houses then. Well, our house now at home, we'll say in Close and Emer, that was a house that was, you know, we had a small shop in the house, and it was a great focal point for people calling there. And there used to be card games and music and dancing and all that there, you know. People would just come flock in, all the neighbours, and it's been the night maybe dancing. We had a gramophone, you remember the record player now they call it, but it's the old type gramophone, the big hook on it, you know. And with my 9 or 10 records, and my mother would be playing, she'd be the disc jockey. And all the neighbours, they'd all come in there and they'd all start dancing half sets and waltzing, and my father would be sitting in the corner and he having a paper, he was a reader. And Jesus, some of them come along me and he'd be shoes off and they'd kick him and he'd be fit. he'd be fit to, would he say nothing, you know? Then in winter time, the card games. We see the fact that we had a shop, there might be something in the shop that they go playing, cigarettes or something like that, you know? And there could be maybe 20 people playing cards there. Then the hurling field was right. You know that field there between the two houses, Emer?
Oh, yeah.
You know, between our house and the other one. That used to be the place where they used to hurl. There could be 25 or 30 guys in there on a Sunday. When the hurling be over there, they're going to the shop and they'd be eating ice cream and they'd be drinking Fanta and but nobody drank that time. No, everyone was a pioneer. Which was brilliant.
The cigarettes, would you sell the cigarettes loose? Untipped cigarettes?
No. They'd be sold in packets. Whatever, in majority of the people that time, well, the fellas, the girls didn't, but the majority of the fellas that time smoked. Yeah. We all smoked. You know, because we weren't, but everyone was a pioneer. Nobody drank. We'd go after the dances in Craughwell and we'd go on a bunch, like, all on bicycles.
And how old were you before you were allowed to go to a dance?
Well, the girls would certainly get we'd be allowed to go to a dance maybe when we'd be 17 or 18. Okay. The girls wouldn't be allowed unless they had a big brother or somebody to look after them.
Okay. Bring them home.
Yeah, and bring them home, and we'd go off down to Craughwell then. And you see, at that time, there was no cars. Only the guards in Craughwell would be out watching the guys with no lights in their bikes, you know. What we used to do, any lad that wouldn't have a light, we'd be travelling, we'd be hunting in packs, see. We'd put the lad with no light in the middle of the group, so he couldn't catch him. And you might catch some lad, and maybe if he caught him, he'd ask him for his name, and normally he'd give him a wrong name. Some lad that wasn't in the place at all.
That's funny.
Go to the dances then, and the parish priest that time, you see, he was in Craughwell. He'd always sit inside the door, and he'd have an umbrella, and he'd be watching the dancing going on. If you were dancing with a girl, you had to have her there. She had to be out at arm's length, because if she was any nearer than that, the cannon would come up and he'd tip you and he'd say, "Make a bit of space there." I remember one night there was a band. You know, you see the Dublin crowd. There'd be a generation ahead of what's happening down the rural areas. This guy, Dublin band. The next dance now, he announced from the stage. The next dance now is going to be a turn down the lights. The next dance is going to be a cheek to cheek dance. So as soon as the cannon heard this, up he jumps off the chair and he with the umbrella and he started shouting, "I forbid it! I forbid it!" Ran up the middle of the hall. And your man above on the stage, he nearly fell down to the stage with this thing because he didn't expect it. But there was no cheek-to-cheek dance, and there was no lights turned.
What years was that?
You'll be talking about the around the 50s,
Yeah.
you know? Then, you know, the Catholic Church always had a peculiar way of family planning and all that, you know?
Yeah.
But this is really unique. The Canon then, after the dance, he'd be going around, we'll say, pillars of gates with a flash lamp, see was there any lad in some kind of or a girl in some kind of a compromising position, you know? It was effective, but it was a bit...
So it's the old dance hall. Just was there a drinks bar at all for
no.
orange or soda?
Oh, there would. There'd be a mineral bar. But there's no way would there be alcohol. No chance. Anyhow, nobody was... Then when the dances, you see, it was just like a scrum.
Yeah.
You see in a rugby field. There was like one... The women would be that side of the hall and the lads would be this side. The dances would be announced and the lads would make a rush back across the hall. That's the women to dance. There'd be no way would a lad be asking the one standing beside him because she wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Be no way. We'd be segregated. The same way when they're going to mass church. Like the men would be one side and the women would be the other side. There's no way could you walk in and go into the church and go over where any of the women would be. Just to be all looking at you.
So
you'll be put out.
So in spite of that and in spite of the toughness at the school, it was still a nice time to grow up, was it?
I thought, you know, looking back, I thought it was. Because the community spirit was absolutely A1. It's certainly not there now because, you know, now you're living in a community, you know, plenty of people around the place, but nobody knows what the other guy is. It's the only time you see the other guy if he's looking for the loan or something. There's no communication there.
And what about farming? What do you think of farming today compared to then?
I think the farming that's going on and that was going on that time, I think we're going to revert back to that now with the way things are shaping up. Because it was all, we'll say, organic farming that time. Now it is all intensive farming, but I'm afraid the consumer is going to say we don't want any more of this. We don't want intensive farming, we want extensive farming. In other words, go back to do the natural way to produce the production of food. That's what I think.
Buy local rather than
buy local rather than getting your meat from Brazil and your vegetables from South Africa and your milk from the north, you know.
Do you think the family farm may come back sometime?
Not in the form that we know it. I think that the family farm is as we remember. I think it's we'll never see it again. You'll see farming. What you'll see is farming, extensive farming, on a part-time basis. That the guy that started, he'd be earning his living outside it. Before that, when we were growing up, people had, you know, what they call they had a part-time job. Now he has a job and he's farming part-time. In other words, they're totally reversal of the thing.